So we're still doing vlogs by camera, and it's a new day. We're now no longer travelling to Abel Tasman. We're now travelling from Abel Tasman. We're going down towards Punakaiki, which is where we're going to see some blowholes. Whoop whoop. More on that later. But first of all, we need to bring you up to date with the last few days of the North Island. So I thought, well, I'll do it. I'll show you around the view. At the moment, we're a bit sort of shrouded in trees, but there is tons and tons of mountains around at the moment, which is very impressive. So on the 8th, which was a few days ago, I think on like the 15th or something now. I'm losing track, but yeah, it's a few days ago now.
It's a Friday today.
It's a Friday.
This time in 2 weeks we will actually be back.
Yeah, we got less than this time in 2 weeks. We'll actually be back in our own house. Wow, 2 weeks left to run. So yeah, on the 8th we set off up towards where we're going in the Coromandel, which is a place called Matarangi. The drive was really nice drive. It was a good 3-hour drive. The first half was kind of just countryside, which is very nice. We stopped at a place called LNP, a place called Paroa for dinner. They make a drink called lemon and Paroa, or LNP, and pretty much everyone in the little town drinks it. And it's a bit weird, really. I've never been to a place where a town has its own drink, but it's very nice. And yeah, it's kind of like a nice cloudy lemonade. Very nice.
Marketed by Coca-Cola.
You're marketed by Coca-Cola now, disappointingly. But there you go, you can't have everything. So yeah, we got, after this really lush coastal drive, I got some photos from it, but really lush, hugging the coast for probably a good hour or so. Really nice. We went through some amazing mountainous scenery, and eventually ended up in Matarangi, in our batch. Where batch is like a little holiday home that you rent off for people. It's people's own home. It's a bit like anywhere else where they do holiday homes, really, but it seems to be quite popular over here, and there's a whole system set up so you can hire them. So we hired this batch at Matarangi. It was rather weird because the old couple who lived there actually lived in their little camper van outside in the garden in their camper van whilst we were inside the house. We spoke to them about it. Apparently, normally they would. What was the story? Normally they go away, but
their mum was sick or something.
but normally they go away, but their mum was sick, so they would just make a bit of extra money, live in their camper van, and rent out their place. Makes a bit of sense. So Matarangi was interesting because a few days before we got there, it'd been in the newspapers because there were some photos of people swimming whilst actual sharks were in the actual water, which is very interesting. When we went down there, we didn't see any sharks. John and I did go in the water. We braved the shark-infested water. According to the papers, the sharks weren't that dangerous, but we didn't see any anyway, so we didn't feel too worried. We didn't go bodyboarding or anything, but we did go body surfing, which was quite interesting. I never did it before. John was okay at it. I was generally a bit rubbish, has to be said. But that was...
I think you need to show them your knee injury.
Oh yeah, I do have a rather impressive, see if I can get this into focus. There it is, rather impressive knee injury. Basically, I managed to scrape my foot right along the floor of the seabed. It was a really shallow bit of water, it's quite nasty really, and it seems to be going pretty skanky. So that's a nice little entry kind of log there. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that was a really nice day, all in all. It was a nice drive, and we got to where we were going, and it was a really beautiful place. There's a good view left, isn't it? Look at that through the trees. There's some water down there, which you probably can't quite see on here. One interesting thing is that whilst pretty much on the North Island, for me, will be kind of defined by chocolate pots, and the girls managed to, well, they kind of got into less of a habit, more of a ritual of every evening they'd buy some Lindt milk chocolate and they'd melt it up and they'd have a hot chocolate pot. Every evening, and so even when we got to Matarangi, they were still keen on keeping up the hot chocolate pots momentum. Although I'm not sure if you had one that first night actually. We might not have got through the... Oh, hello, look at this. Water down here, river. Everything's really dry at the moment in terms of the rivers actually. I think because we're in the middle of summer, but I'm sure in the middle of winter that will be a lot more of a flood. But actually the chocolate pot is so funny because last night Leanne was on autopilot into making a chocolate pot and then suddenly backed away and decided that she's going to... We bought a Viennetta instead, so... But she was just autopilot, she got the pans out.
Save it for tonight.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, that was the day of the 8th. That was our day up to the... actually, no, there's one more thing to say for that day, because that day we also picked when Daisy is going to have her first steps. That day Daisy had her first ice cream, which is very amusing. There's some great photos of her with her ice cream, but we...
No, there are no photos.
Are there no photos?
No.
Oh, close to taking first steps. So we all took a bet on what day we think the first steps are going to be. And for the record, LA, Leanne, she thinks the 18th, which isn't actually too far away.
Yeah, I might be about to lose.
Well, you never know. She was getting pretty close when we were there before. I picked the 23rd, which is the actual day they're flying home. So it was a bit mean of me, really. But she's looking pretty close, and I think she might decide to walk whilst on the plane, which would be quite amusing. John went for the 26th, and Naomi was being very conservative of the 1st of Feb, which at that stage was 3 weeks later, which she didn't look like she was going to be 3 weeks away from me, but there you go. So that's it, and that's the 8th. Apart from one last thing, which we had a game of Uno that night, was Leanne's first ever game of Uno. First game of Uno, Leanne?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Did you win?
No.
Do you know who did win?
No.
It was me! I won, yes! And that's about it, really. It's only a game of Uno, I guess, but yeah. That was the 8th. Bye!